Every new blend borrows from the past, and the Saga Blend number 7, it is the perfect combination of timeless knowledge of traditional tobaccos and the newer balance that today's cigar enthusiasts come to expect and love in a fine cigar. Leveraging 6 generations of experience and tradition of the Reyes family, the Saga Blend number 7 delivers a unique, full-flavored, medium-bodied cigar. The cigar is highlighted by a Brazilian wrapper over a blend of Central American and Dominican tobacco. Available in 3 sizes at an affordable price, the Saga Blend number 7 is sure to please and bring together past and present. Brought to you by Rocky Patel Premium Cigars. The sun-grown Maduro is hand-rolled at Rocky Patel's boutique factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. This triple-capped, hand-bunched, and hand-rolled cigar is accompanied by a gorgeous broadleaf wrapper. Well-balanced, rich, and decadent, it truly is a great addition to any humidor and worthy of bearing the long-respected sun-grown name. For more information, visit them on the web at rockypatel.com and be sure to follow Rocky Patel Premium Cigars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
When we review or report on something, we don't want there to be any guesswork. We believe the information must be accurate, and it has to be reliable. For what we review, the goal is hopefully to educate our audience, and at the same time, an equally important goal is in turn to get educated ourselves. What we want to do is earn the trust of our audience, and to do that, we ensure what we report is accurate, rumor-free, and teaser-free. The premium cigar industry is so dynamic, and every day brings something new. We wanted Cigar-coop to be an extension of that experience, so it has to be 365 days a year. We wanted to create a true media ecosystem and integrate Cigar-coop with the power of our Stogie Geeks programming network. Welcome back to the Stogie Geek Show. We're in our Stogies of the Week segment. We're here with Master Sensei of Cigar Dojo, and I'm going to get right into it right now with the Stogie of the Week. Actually, I'll let you go first. I know we probably have to kind of get you out of here in about 15 minutes or so. We'll start it off with you, and we'll see how many we can cover in this period.
All right, I'm going to go first. Stogie of the Week is the new Particularis from Sindicato. I had that the other night. I was super impressed. Very good cigar, different than what they've done in the past, and kind of a different look and branding as well. That's definitely a cigar that you guys might want to try if you haven't tried it. It's a real traditional style, kind of Cuban-esque, and super good. I don't know if you've had that, Coop, but that's a good stick.
In fact, I have smoked it. It's a very good cigar. I haven't rated or reviewed it yet. What I'll say is, if you're a fan of Warp cigars, this cigar is coming out of the same factory as the Warp Nicaraguan cigars. It's coming out of Casa Fernandez. It's a little more of an older school vibe, I think, to this cigar. Warped has kind of an old school vibe on the Nicaraguan stuff. This has kind of got even more of a classic view of it. I would definitely encourage. I think it could be. That cigar is really going to evolve into something special. It's good now, but I think it's even going to get better over time.
Yeah.
Yep. I smoked. We talked about these guys. I know they're going to be at the famous party. I smoked the Protocol Probable Cause, the box press Churchill. Real impressed by the sophomore efforts of Cabarqueño, Juan and Bill. This was a wonderful Maduro. It wasn't a. I thought it was actually a little more dialed back compared to the original Protocol, but it was one of these cigars where the flavors just kind of all worked real good together. A lot of classic Maduro flavors, and under a Stogie Geeks rating system, I gave it a box-worthy rating. This is it's a very good cigar. They've done Eric and them have done real well with their first 2 releases.
Yeah, that is a good pick. In fact, I'm going to skip one of my picks and move right to another pick because also by the same guys, but I'm going to go with the Protocol Lancero. That is definitely my favorite Protocol. It's a great cigar. Really blew me away. Every time I've had it, I love that stick. Juan and Bill, I thought the original Protocol was good, but the Lancero nailed it. Amazing cigar.
I thought it took it when I had it. It took them to the next. I totally agree with you. You know, when I saw them at La Zona Palooza and they handed me the Lancero, I was really scratching my head saying, "Why are these guys doing a Lancero?" Right? Blah blah blah. They don't sell, but let me tell you, they knew they had something with this blend. You know, this was a fantastic cigar. It's a contender to be in my top 25 this year for sure. So I loved. I mean, right now I'd probably put that as the best cigar. And that Maduro, the probable cause is great, but that one I'd even put a notch higher. I think that is the best cigar in their line, that Lancero. Worst getting by box worthy all the way.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Yep. I guess I'm up. So I smoked Aromacraft, a shop exclusive by Aromacraft. I smoked the Firecracker, the Cro-Magnon Firecracker. And what, you know, here's the interesting thing about Cro-Magnon. It's like, this is a little 3.5 by 50 Petite Robusta that went to Two Guys Smoke Shop, and they sold out of theirs pretty quickly too. And what's interesting about this cigar, that blend is a 3.5 by 50, but that's the same blend that they use for that big mammoth 10 by 133 and a third cigar that Skip did as well. So it's a blend that just kind of is all there's a size for everybody in there. That being said, good cigar, but it's not the best size in the Cro-Magnon line. I mean, to me, if you're going to go Cro-Magnon, I'd go Mode 5, Blockhead, or Knuckle Dragger. I think this was a little more of a novelty cigar. I think there's a purpose for it. It was in time for the 4th of July. It's not a bad cigar. I wouldn't go crazy tracking this cigar down by any means, but it's still, if I can get it, I'd pick up 5 of them and put them in my humidor.
Okay. I'm going to go.
Yep.
My next. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Nope, I'm done.
I'm going to go with the new AJ Fernandez Bella Artes. Is that how you say it, Jordan? Bella Artes? Bellas Artes. I never can say the names right. But I've been hooked on those, Coop, lately. Robusto size, to me, is perfect. And it's kind of like a little bit of a box press to it. Really, to me, different than most other AJ Fernandez sticks that you're going to get. This one is really complex in my opinion, and especially the first half of it. The first half of it, to me, was lights out. It was amazing.
Yeah. I guess, so here's the thing about that cigar. You made a good point, and that's why I said yeah. It's a much more refined cigar in the AJ Fernandez portfolio than what you're used to.
Yeah.
Would that make sense? It's refined. So even some of AJ's milder stuff doesn't have that refined or that elegance to it. I found it smoked better in the short Churchill than the Robusto. But I really got hooked on the short Churchill. I think that's a cigar. That's a cigar I wouldn't be surprised to see that on a lot of end of year lists, as well as possibly even cigar aficionados. I really think that cigar is gonna somehow get a high rating in aficionado, whether it's this year or next year. I would watch that. It's a little more higher priced than some of the AJ stuff, but by all means, I really liked it in the short Churchill. So I think that's a good pick. My next cigar, this is the La Flor Dominicana 1994, but it's the Bierstein edition. And so here's the thing. The 1994 cigar came out a couple of years ago, and it uses a San Andreas natural wrapper. But they came out with this other cigar, and it comes in a Bierstein. An actual Bierstein. And they made it in a Toro size, but they use a San Andreas Maduro wrapper. And this Bierstein, there's some pictures on Cigar-coop of it. It's beautiful. And I love La Flor Dominicana because of their art. They do a lot of artisan type stuff. this beer stein is beautiful. The only bad thing about this beer stein, it's a beer stein. It's not a humidification jar. So, and that's the part that I thought. But I like the fact it's a beer stein. So I kind of, you can't have it both ways, I guess. But the 1994 blend was a good blend. This is this Maduro version of it. I really, really liked it. I would say it's my favorite of the 1994s for sure. It's mild too. It's for LaFleur. It's kind of like on the low end of medium with this cigar. Excellent. And this was one of these cigars when I got the beer stein and I smoked it. I felt it needed some time, so I got the beer stein. These came out about a year ago, and now I've just recently started smoking them, and they're smoking great. On our Stogie Geeks rating scale, I'll say it's a Stein-worthy or a box-worthy rating in this case. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's say box-worthy. Box-worthy.
I'm going to go with my next pick is the most unique cigar I've smoked in 2 years. And that is the Yamasa by Davidoff. It doesn't taste like anything you're used to. It's completely different, and in a good way. It's delicious. It's got a kind of a Cuban-esque muskiness to it, but at the same time, it just has a real depth of flavor, really complex. You can't totally put your finger on the flavors, and that's what I like when you can't really totally put your finger on it. It's just swirling around in your mind like, what is this flavor? I'm not 100% sure, but I like it. And the construction is amazing. It's a little high priced for me because I'm kind of a Joe six-pack kind of a guy. But at the same time, the short Churchill is only about $12, and it's worth it. Now, it might not be as good as the bigger ones, but if you're tight on a budget, you could try the short Churchill just to see if you like it.
Yeah. I think each of those four sizes bring a different characteristic out of that blend. But there's a common thread with each of them. I really like the Pyramids, which was the bigger. It's a $23 cigar, so it's probably not going to make the Dojo top 10.
No.
Because you guys focus more on the cigars that folks can afford and much more affordable, I should say.
Right.
But I really, I think that's a blend that has got. We talk a lot about aging potential on this show. And it's a big thing that Paul and I do is we look at cigars from an aging perspective and we go back and revisit them. This cigar is great now. I'm wondering in a year what that cigar is going to turn into. I think it could really be something special. So I'd encourage folks to pick that cigar up. It is a little more pricier, but certainly well worth it. My next one, I got two more, but here's the next one. The Skinny Mummy by Tatuaje. So these, there are a lot of monsters. If you look now at monsters, right, and we have this on Cigar-coop, there's actually 50. If you count all the monsters up, there's now 50, something like 52 facings. So there's a lot of them. And they just came out with these skinny monsters, which everyone knows are the 6x38 Petite Lanceros of the first 10 of the 10 blends minus this year's Kruger. And I'll be honest, I've been going through some of these these skinny monsters, and I've been really underwhelmed. I have not thought that the blend has worked well with this format. Along comes the Mummy, and it's changed my mind because the Skinny Mummy worked beautiful with the blend. By far, I've smoked 6 out of 10 right now. I haven't smoked 4 of them. But by far, this was the leader in the clubhouse for the best of the skinny monsters. It's a tremendous cigar. I'd say it's a lot like the original Mummy, but I think it works real well in this format. I'd say it's a medium to full cigar. Sit down and smoke this cigar if you got it, undistracted, because you'll pick up a lot of the nuances. It's another box-worthy rating. From Stogie Geeks on this one. And they actually sell these now in 25-count boxes. So you can get these in 25-count boxes as opposed to buying the sampler. But I've been down on the other most of the other monsters have been disappointing, but this one's been very good. Skinny monsters, that is.
Okay, I'll have to try that one.
Yep.
My final pick is the Maestro del Tiempo from Warped. This cigar is lights out awesome. Amazing. Uh, Stop what you're doing now and go find some to buy online or at your local shop because they are fantastic. And they kind of come in two varieties. There's a limited one that has the medio tiempo leaf in it, and then there's the regular one. And believe it or not, I kind of like the regular one better. I mean, they're both great, but something about the regular one just hit my palate just right. And what size do we have? That was it, the Corona, Jordan? It was like a Lonsdale, I think we had that.
Yep.
And it was absolutely fantastic. Graham crackery, a little bit of sweetness and maple syrup, and it just was just amazing from start to finish. There was a time during when we were smoking it when I told Jordan, I said, is there such a thing as too much of a good thing? Because sometimes it was just so good. I was literally, I was falling over myself smoking that cigar. I loved it.
I think when we start talking about cigar of the year candidates, and I have not smoked the Medio Tiempo yet, but I have smoked it. It's very good. I think this cigar could be a contender. If we look at the Media Association or where a lot of online end of year lists could be, this is a cigar you're going to see at the end of the year. This cigar is just getting a lot of good praise right now. Totally agree with you on that. As far as I have not smoked the Media Tiempo, but the regular one was fantastic. In fact, I smoked it watching your show on Friday night. That's kind of ironic, and I think you did mention it on the show or the previous show. But yeah, I did smoke it Friday night watching Smoke Night Live with James Brown. So that was interesting that you said that. My final cigar is the Mi Querida, the Anco Largo, which is the Toro size. Steve Saka, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust. This cigar, I tell you what, this is his second cigar. It's fantastic. It's Steve calls it a dirty, kind of gritty, dank cigar, and I agree. It's an excellent cigar. I think it works real well in the Toro format as well as the Corona format. I think there's two of them, or the Corona Gorda format. And overall, I just think it's a really, really. I think it's going to be a highly successful cigar. I think it's better than Sober Mesa, which was a great cigar. That's not taken away from Stover. This got our Chuck Norris rating, which is even higher than Box Worthy, where we basically say, in order to get the box, we'd have to have a fight with Chuck Norris. So this guy, and that's our second highest rating behind the Oasis one, where we'll just do anything crawling across the desert to get that. But this is you talk about a great regular production cigar, there.
I haven't had it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you definitely. They're selling out pretty good. My son's working retail, and he told me they flew through those. Anyway,
yeah, we bought some right away. We're gonna review that one. I just living in Colorado, we have to let them sit a little bit longer than probably most people do. So we have several that we bought that we're getting ready to smoke and review.
Now, it's because it's drier there, right?
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. See, now we have the opposite problem in North Carolina. We have the humidity, and I'm telling you, I do not review Connecticut. I don't review anything off the truck anymore. I just won't do it. I refuse to do it. But with broadleaf in the summer, I have to put it away. I have to let that go under ideal conditions because the broadleaf here, it absorbs all the moisture, and you just don't. Not only does it make for a crappy smoke or less glorious smoke, but it's just going to change the flavor profile. So I don't feel you're getting sometimes with them. And I see guys sometimes they want to be the first to review it, and that's great. But I think you're doing a disservice to you and the cigar review by doing that.
Yeah, we're the exact opposite. It's so dry here, and in the summer it's not so bad. We don't have to worry so much. But come wintertime, it's dry and you have these extreme temperature changes. I mean, even if you take your cigars from your humidor, to where you're smoking it. Now, when you're somewhere where it's humid, Coop, and it's cold, it doesn't matter so much. But here, when it's cold, that dryness, like it will like crack that wrapper in no time. So we have to be real careful about where and when we smoke cigars here in the high altitude and the dryness that we have here.
Yeah, no, so it's we've talked a lot about that on the show in various segments. It's very important. So that's why we stress proper humidity and invest in all those types of things, because there's some, really good, and you don't want a crack wrapper. If they crack and those cracks get bad, you're going to lose your cigar. So absolutely. Anyway, hey, Master Sensei, first of all, thank you so much. I'm glad we had you on. We're going to definitely have you back on. Appreciate it. I hope we had fun. And be sure to check out, like I said, the Sarsaparilla 2 goes on sale October 21st. Be sure to check out Smoke Night Live as well. Next week, in-studio guest Chris Topper. You're not going to want to miss that show. He's a really interesting guy in terms of the history of cigars. So stay tuned next week, 6:30 Eastern on StogieGeeks.com. And be sure to check out Cigar-coop, cigar-coop.com for the latest news and reviews. And, of course, Stogie Geeks News at StogieNews.tv and Stogie Geeks Shorts at StogieShorts.tv. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.